Have you ever just stopped to think about how a camel can stroll through a scorching hot desert, but a polar bear is perfectly happy on a sheet of ice? Well, it's not magic. It's something way cooler, actually. Today, we're going to take a trip around the world to check out the incredible survival tools that make every animal a perfect fit for its own unique home.
So, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. A penguin, right? It's totally at home on the ice. But if you took a colorful parrot and put it in the same spot, well, it would be in big trouble. So why is that? The secret sauce, the answer to that question, is one of the most powerful forces in nature: adaptation. And that's exactly what we're diving into.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Every single thing about an animal, from its fur to its feet, is like a specialized tool. It's like they're all walking around with a custom-built survival kit made just for one specific spot on the planet. So you ready? Let's start our journey and see these incredible kits in action. Okay, our first stop on this world tour, we're plunging right into a world that's just bursting with life, with color, and with water everywhere. We're heading deep, deep into the rainforests and the ponds they support. Go ahead, just picture it. The air is so thick and humid you could almost drink it. The sunlight is fighting to get through the thick leaves way up high, and there are just a million sounds all around you. In a place this busy and colorful, how do you survive? Well, a lot of the time, it's all about not being seen. So, who fits in perfectly here? The parrot, of course. Now, you'd think those super bright feathers are just for showing off, right? That's what most people think. But, get this, in a forest that's already packed with colorful flowers and bright green leaves, those colors are actually camouflage. They help the parrot just disappear. But what's fascinating is that in the exact same forest, you can find a totally different strategy for survival. Meet the sloth. Its whole game plan is the complete opposite of the parrot's. It's all about saving energy. By moving incredibly slowly, it barely needs any food. And here's the best part. That slowness is its greatest defense. Predators that hunt by seeing movement, like jaguars, just look right past it. Okay, now let's look down from the treetops to the forest floor, to the ponds and streams. This is where we find the frog, an animal whose entire life is connected to water. From its skin that has to stay moist to help it breathe, to its super powerful legs designed for jumping after bugs. Every little bit of a frog is fine-tuned for a life right there at the water's edge. All right, let's shake off that rainforest humidity. We are stepping out into a completely different world now. Let's see how the rules for survival totally change when you're in the vast, wide-open grasslands. Just imagine this, a world with literally nowhere to hide. No trees, no caves, just you and a giant ocean of grass blowing in the wind. Out here, the landscape itself writes the rules for how to stay alive. So for a huge animal that eats grass, like the bison, this place isn't a challenge. It's paradise. Why? Because its favorite food is everywhere. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet that never closes. Bison are basically living power plants designed to turn all this green grass into energy. And then you have the zebra, part athlete, part magician. It's got the powerful legs for a quick escape for sure. But what about those famous stripes? They're not for hiding in the grass. No, the real magic happens when a whole bunch of zebras are running together. All those moving stripes create this crazy, dazzling optical illusion that makes it super hard for a lion to pick out just one to attack. So you start to see the dynamic of the plains, right? It's all about using the open space. You've got the grazers, like the bison, who are built to just eat all day. And then you have animals like the zebra, who are built to run and confuse. It's like this constant, high-stakes game of hide-and-seek being played right out in the open. Okay, time to leave the comfortable plains. We're now heading to the planet's most difficult neighborhoods. We're going to explore life in the absolute extremes, the blazing heat of the desert and the bitter cold of the ice. First up, the desert. And the undisputed champion of the desert has got to be the camel. This animal is seriously a walking survival machine. It's got wide feet that work like snowshoes on the sand, it can slam its nostrils shut in a sandstorm, and, of course, there's that famous ability to save water, letting it go for days without a drink. But hey, there's another way to survive extreme heat. Just don't go out in it. And snakes in the desert are absolute masters of this strategy. Instead of evolving to handle the sun, they just avoid it. They spend the hottest parts of the day chilling out under rocks and only come out when it's cooler. Smart, right? Now, let's flip the thermostat all the way from hot to cold, from scorching sand to freezing ice. And here we find the penguin. Its secret weapon against the cold is basically the most high-tech winter coat in the world. It's a super dense layer of oily, waterproof feathers that traps warm air right next to its skin. And then you have the top predator of the Arctic, the polar bear. That big, white, fluffy coat is a 2-for-1 special. First, it's amazing insulation that keeps it warm. But just as important, that white color is the ultimate camouflage. It makes this giant hunter almost invisible against all the snow and ice.
So, you see the pattern here. To beat extreme heat, you either evolve to tough it out, like the camel, or you just hide from it, like the snake. To beat extreme cold, it's all about insulation, whether it's feathers or fur. They're two totally opposite problems, solved with equally brilliant and specialized solutions.
Okay, for our very last stop, let's take a plunge into the water. But here's the thing, not all water is the same. Living in a nice, calm pond is a completely different ballgame than living out in the massive, salty ocean. So in the quiet world of a freshwater pond, you'll find the duck. And honestly, it's an engineering marvel. It's got built-in paddles for feet, and its feathers are coated in a special oil that makes them totally waterproof. It's like wearing a permanent raincoat that also keeps you warm. But if you head out into the huge, powerful ocean, you're going to need a completely different set of tools, and that's where the dolphin comes in. This animal is a true master of the sea. Its body is perfectly streamlined for cutting through the water, and because it's a mammal, it has a blowhole on top to breathe air. The perfect feature for an animal that decided to conquer the ocean.
So, we've gone from parrots to sloths, zebras to camels, penguins to dolphins. We've been all over the planet, from the rainforest to the Arctic. After seeing all these amazing creatures, what's the one big idea we should walk away with?
Here's the most important thing to remember. There is no such thing as the single best animal. It just doesn't exist. There's only the animal that is the best fit for where it lives. Every single creature we've looked at today is a masterpiece, perfectly designed to not just survive, but to thrive in its own special home.
And that leaves us with one final, really important thought to chew on. This whole adaptation thing, it never stops, because the world is always changing. So the big question for the future is, as these animals' homes continue to change, how are they going to adapt next? Thanks for coming along on this tour with us.